Hey folks, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Daniel here. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, I hope you are soon. Today on the channel, we're taking a look at Void Realm. Void Realm is another game available from the Gamecrafter, and it is in a VHS box. I love this box size. It's one of my new favorite things in the tabletop hobby. And this game was sent to the channel for a review. Let's take a little read on the back of the box here. Void Realm, absolution or corruption, vessel or void. Inhabit a vessel and travel through a realm of unknowable beings, manipulators of life forces and ethereal energies. Some are here to assist this journey, while others exist to hinder. The weight of burdens is heavy, and sacrifices will be required. Absolution is not certain. So this game is kind of a Doom Pilgrim-like, I would say. Maybe the first Doom Pilgrim-like that I've seen. And you are taking the role of one of these vessels, and there are 6 different characters that you can play. This is a very kind of esoteric, spiritual game, very weird and otherworldly. So we have characters like the Illuminated, the Empty Vessel, the Shadowed Soul, the Void Manipulator, the Light Seeker, or the Orb Weaver. And each one of these characters will have some different stats, and you will have to manage those stats, and you have to make your way through a deck of encounters. And you need to try to collect 5 orbs in order to win the game. And you have to do that before you lose all of your health or all of your light, or you take a certain number of burdens. So there are 5 different burdens: guilt, shame, regret, despair, and corruption. If you ever take 3 of the same kind of burden, that is also another way that you can die. In the box, you will have a card that will show you the kind of a sample layout and a little bit more about the different vessels that you will discover. And you will also get your rule cards, and those are double-sided rules. The game is pretty simple, and it does use some different types of terminology to kind of enforce that kind of esoteric vibe. So let's randomize our character here. And 1, 2, 3, stop. Okay, so we will be the Shadowed Soul. I start with 4 health, so I'll put this tracker here at 4. I start with 4 light. I start with 0 deviation. Deviation is a currency that we can spend in order to change the outcome of an encounter. And I start with 1 burden, any. I think I will start with 1 guilt. So we'll put our character card there. Now we also have a small deck of cards here, and these are items and mysterious things that we can find on our journey, such as a piece of root or a wandering soul or a bell of blessing, a lantern of divinity. And these are kind of like the keywords that you might add to your character sheet in a game of Doom Pilgrim. And these will often be referenced on the encounter cards. And if you have the thing that it's referencing, you might have an additional option. You might have something else to do. The rest of the cards are all of our encounter cards, and these all have wonderful, kind of weird, esoteric, abstract art. And we will be laying out 3 of these, and we can choose 1 to encounter, we choose another to discard, and then we choose another to add to the bottom of our encounter deck. And again, we need to find 5 of those orbs in order to win the game. So we'll give that a shuffle here, give that a cut, and then we can start our journey through the void by laying out 3 cards. So these are the choices. So these black cards are somewhat interesting. We have, this looks kind of like some kind of maybe some dune, sand, or maybe some kind of ocean, some kind of sea with some kind of moon maybe. And this reminds me of maybe a fountain. Let's go ahead and encounter this. I will discard this by putting it to the side, and I will reject this, deflect it, I think that's the terminology, and put that under my deck of encounter cards. Now let's see what our encounter is for this turn. This is the Expanding Plains. Wandering without hope, time slips into the sands below. Winds erase the paths once shown. Release 2 light and 1 health. Or if I have the Eye of an Ancient Nothing, I can discard that and avoid that damage. So I have to take damage here. I have to release. That's the key. That's the term for taking damage. 2 light. So I go down to 2 light and 1 health. That was really bad. I only have 1 light and 1 health left on this journey. Now this is discarded and this will be kept face up because sometimes some of the encounters will ask if you have visited certain beings or certain places. So I like to keep the rejected cards face down and the cards that I have encountered face up. Okay, so let's take another turn here. So we have these 3 cards now to choose from. That looks kind of wicked. So does that. A lot of this art, they look like maybe some kind of parasites or something, some weird spiritual parasites. Let's go ahead and encounter this. I will reject that. I will deflect that to the bottom of the deck. And now let's see what our encounter is now. The evolving. The evolution of the being is inherent in its increasing the capacity of emotion. Receive 1 light and release any burden held if have at least 2 corruption or any void limbs. Or if no corruption or void limbs to satisfy, receive any 2 burdens or release 2 light. So one other thing we have are our limbs. We have 2 red and 2 blue. So we have 2 arms and 2 legs. Those at times can be sacrificed, they can be missing, they can go into the void. If we ever lose 2 of our same limbs, that is another way that the game can end. I don't have any void limbs, so I can't meet these consequences. I can't pay for those. So I have no corruption either, no void limbs. So I have to receive 2 burdens or release 2 light. If I release 2 light, I die. So I'm going to receive 2 burdens. I will receive a point of shame and a point of regret. All right, let's do one more turn here. So that looks kind of cool. I'm not sure about that. I think I will reject that. I will deflect that to the bottom of the encounter deck, and now we will encounter this, the temple. So this is a special location here, and these special locations might trigger something additional. Let's read. Spires stretch to the skies, reaching for escape, never to come. The ancient place consumed by its surroundings. If paid respects to one other sacred location, these are sacred locations. I have not paid respects to any other sacred location. I could release 1 burden and receive the Lantern of Divinity. It's in the Mementos deck. Or may sacrifice a limb to receive the lantern, burdens kept, respects paid. Plus, if this is the first sacred location visited, receive 1 light. It is, so I will receive a light. I will go ahead and sacrifice a limb in order to gain that lantern. So let's go to our mementos here and let's find the lantern. Let's see here, fragment, a withered limb, a fungus, a wandering soul, eye of the ancient, an endless flame, bells, the lantern of divinity. So we now have the lantern of divinity, and this might help us on a future encounter. Let's do one more turn here. 1, 2, 3. I kind of like the look of that. It kind of looks like a plant. I don't like the look of that. The abandoned camp. A place of fragile respite. The original owner decays, no longer in need of the things it left behind. Receive 1 light, and the withered limb may receive 1 light more, but also receive 1 to spare. Okay, so I will tick my light up, and I also gain the withered limb that I found from this strange being who had abandoned its camp. So let's take our withered limb there, add that to our inventory. And so that is an additional thing that might help in a future encounter. So yeah, I like games like this. I know they're not for everybody. They're only tangentially games, I think. You're not making a ton of decisions, or not making a ton of crucial decisions, or decisions where you know perfect information. These are games about random encounters and having things happen to you. A lot like Doom Pilgrim, and Doom Pilgrim is a game I love. You are looking at this art, and I think the art is pretty fantastic. I like how weird and abstract it is. I really do enjoy the kind of esoteric, kind of spiritual quality of this game. It is creepy. Playing this game at night, kind of, in the dark by candlelight, can offer a real kind of creepy vibe, and it might be perfect to play in the upcoming month of October. But the designer also released 2 books of art and writing that are related to the game. And I think these are pretty cool as well. And so we have Human Voids 1 and Human Voids 2. And these contain art and some poems and just some kind of weird writing. And this is all by Kenneth Alexander. Kenneth Alexander is the designer and the writer. Humbled observations for future inhabitants. Human voids are each one of us, as we are each other. These are the parts of you that you have the potential to possess, as they are the potential parts of me too. Each one of these human voids holds the ability to harness and manipulate energy surrounding it. The outcome of this energy is based solely on the intention behind the wielder, for this energy is the life force that forms. There is no right or wrong. We are all in constant fluctuation of these energies. We are only human after all. So here we have all of the different entities that are in this book, and then we have some art and some writing. The ascending. Through acceptance of the self, ascension is imminent. The shame will be shed and love will take its place. The connected. The pieces do not fit, but they must flow. These beings share more than what is known. The doubting. The compliance gives way to the death of creation. Only the individual can overcome the obstacle of self-doubt. So if you're into this kind of weird kind of esoteric stuff, this might be a game worth checking out. I think it's really interesting. I don't love it. I think I prefer Doom Pilgrim and this type of, lay out some art cards, choose one to encounter, discard the others. That one feels a little bit more like a game to me, but I do like the vibe. I do like the atmosphere. I do like what this game is attempting to do, and I think it exceeds at what it is attempting to do, and that's create a weird, otherworldly kind of esoteric atmosphere. And that is something that I enjoy. That's something that I think this game does in a unique way. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at Void Realm. Again, this is available on the Gamecrafter. I'll post a link below. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.